Hey Yang Gang. So just some quick thoughts that I was having. Um just based on what happened yesterday with Super Tuesday. I think a lot of us who have kind of dealt with the Bernie crowd are feeling a little bit of how do you say that word? Schadenfreude? I'm not sure how you say it, but it's basically taking pleasure in others' pain. I mean, like, I guess a lot of us felt vindicated after all of the abuse that, we've endured these last 7 months as Yang Gang, these last several months as Yang Gang. I think it's also a moment for reflection. I mean, they're hurting right now. I've always been someone who promoted using the Bernie playbook to move our own movement forward, and I'm questioning all of that right now. And one of the things I'm questioning is that we can actually have a movement without, you know, having other people join us very willingly and happily. A lot of the Bernie strategy has been to guilt people or to coerce them or to tell them that they hate poor people or they don't want people to have health care. And that's not something we've ever done, but we've become very reactionary as a result of their abuse. And I think it behooves us to learn a lesson here. Like it really hasn't helped their movement to be so negative and toxic. And I'm not saying that everyone should, like become these like humanity first authoritarians. I actually don't like that either. When people are, uh, you know, expressing real frustration and emotion with problems in their life or when they're getting beat up on and they react, you'll see a lot of Yang Gang that comes in there and is like tone policing them with humanity first. Remember your humanity first principles. I don't think that's the response either. I think that we can be humanity first without being authoritarian or being totally walked on. I think it's a balancing act, and it really requires us to kind of take it day by day, scenario by scenario, trying to put ourselves in other people's shoes. It's definitely something I have to work on. I've been very reactionary myself to a lot of things, even people in the Yang Gang. I think for me, the most important thing and what I kind of set my sights towards is the example that Andrew Yang himself has set. And I know Andrew is not Jesus. He's not a prophet. He's just a man. But he is a man that sets a good precedence to follow. Just as an example, I worked with Andrew in Iowa often. I saw I got to see him a lot firsthand. I got to see a lot of his mannerisms and his, the way he conducts himself. And what really influenced me was one of the things was like his frugality with campaign funds. When you hear candidates that are spending a whole lot of money on ice cream and private jets, that was never Andrew. He always flew coach. He oftentimes was at the same Super 8 the rest of us were at. He wasn't living it up on campaign funds, and he worked his ass off for us. 77 events in Iowa alone, or excuse me, not Iowa, in January. He wasn't in Iowa the entire part of January, but most of it. I watched him get on stage when he was sick as a dog, and you probably wouldn't even be able to tell once he got up there that he was sick. He gave it his all for us. So he took our investment and he did as far as he could see, he treated it very seriously, and he did his absolute best. He was very careful with, you know, the campaign money that we entrusted in him. He thought through all of his decisions very carefully. He didn't he never joined in on what would probably be more popular moves that would make us feel vindicated, but in the end didn't really help our movement. So I guess going forward, I think that we definitely should learn from what like the Bernie supporters are going through right now, and that we can't go it alone. We can't act like isolationists. We need to make the case that our movement is a positive movement that's open to anyone who wants to be a part of it. We have to show people that the better world is still possible. And we can do it in a way that still recognizes people are human and they're fallible, and we can give people second chances, and we can all come together, and we can make the better world. So that's just my thoughts from, you know, what happened yesterday, Super Tuesday. And, you know, I know a lot of people are still upset with things like Andrew being on CNN, which I personally think it was masterful, because now he, you know, the entire country is seeing what an intelligent and reasonable person he was, when before, or he is, when before they really didn't, they didn't know him at all. So let's keep moving forward, Yang Gang. Andrew's big announcement is tomorrow. I am so excited to continue this movement and learn the lessons from other movements before us, and unite as the Yang Gang towards those ends. So good luck, guys, and I love you.